Alright guys, so today we have a slide out issue. It's going to be on a Monaco slide out. It's not specific to this full wall slide out. Many Monacos have, especially their diesel pushers, have a hydraulic front slides, and they're level out, and so they have little plastic guides underneath them, and they will fall apart over time. Now some of them won't even have them, and they need them. Let's take a look at them. Now I got this one right here. You can kind of see it's missing a few chunks of it. It's just a, we call it nylon or Teflon. I'm sure there's an actual real chemical name for it, but I'm not a material specialist. So this is what's going to support that slide. This one actually comes down a ramp and then goes up when it goes back in. So we'll have to replace this. Now you can't just order this, you'll just have to fabricate one. And that's going to be part of the process we'll do today. So let me go ahead and start at the back and we'll get with you. So this is a Monaco, even though it's a Beaver. It's built by Monaco. This is really common on a lot of their main slide outs. There's a plastic shoe, and what happens is over time that shoe falls apart because this plastic that it's made out of, it's a nylon Teflon. It's not completely stable to UV, and so what can happen is these slides get left out for a long time, usually at dealerships or at the RV place, and it does get light underneath here and it starts to fall apart. You can see this one's been dragging pretty hard, broke most of the screw heads off. You can't call Monaco up on that. So they don't exist anymore. I mean, they do, but not the people that are going to support this. So you have to fabricate your own guides at this point. I'm going to go with a little bit thicker product, get it cut out, and then I'm going to jack this slide up. That way I can try to get this underneath as much as I can. It doesn't have to be a full wall slide out like this one is. It's usually the main driver's side front slide that has this issue, but I have seen it on the passenger side too. Now we like to believe that in the normal world, something that's straight stays straight for a long period of time, but there's a lot of flexing on something this long, even as something half as long as this. So there's going to be deflection quite a bit. And if you saw that one cable slide where I had put rollers on, you're still going to have the most amount of weight going to be carried on the outside. That's why they're going to have those to help space everything up and help guide everything. So let's go get this thing jacked up. And I did try the utility cart method. I could go with the forklift method, but this will work too. So I just got a bottle jack going up to a 4x4. And I'm just going to hopefully raise this up. Now you can see inside there pretty well. Now I know how long to cut this, so I can get this old one out, get a measurement, and then we can put this one in. Most slide outs will have quite a bit of a tolerance side to side and up and down. Otherwise they wouldn't move so easily. You just want to make sure you don't raise it up so much that it actually hits the top of the opening there. If we look down underneath right there, we can see all this debris. We need to get all that out of the way too. It's best not to put your fingers in there. Don't put your fingers in there. Get a tool to do that. So there that is. Get the rest of that cleaned out after I get this pulled out. Now of course the best thing about Teflon and nylon, I guess, is that it's slippery. Not much sticks to it. But of course the worst thing is that it's slippery and nothing sticks to it. So this double-sided tape didn't do much. I'll be using some of my favorite sealant adhesive, not because it's much better, but it's going to do better than silicone. I'll be using the Pro Seal because it's a pretty decent plastic adhesive. Not great, but we do use it for sealing fittings into plastic holding tanks. It's kind of a thread sealant, so I do know it works good for that. And we still want to have this removable if somebody down the road needs to remove it. Alright, so there that is. So I think it looks like this edge was beveled. Normally I like to bevel that edge, but it also looks like that edge is getting pinched a little bit. So let me get a tape measure under there and we'll see how long this needs to be. Alright, so now the front of the slide floor, this is the slide floor right there, is actually going to be cut at an angle to go up this ramp. Now the ramp is right where the tape measure is located. So this actually, when the slide comes in, it has to go up that ramp. When it goes out, it has to go down that ramp. So we want to measure to the bottom of that, of the floor to the back here. It's approximately 26 inches. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that 6-inch strip to 26 inches, and then I'll get it put in place here, and hopefully this will do it. I'll need 2 of them though. So we're just going to be using a little bit thicker plastic. Shouldn't affect anything too much. This is 3/16, maybe 1/4 inch compared to the thinner stuff. And it's very slippery. Got this from a local plastic supplier. They're not an RV manufacturer. They just supply plastic to the industries, and not RV industry, industries in general. There's what we would normally call nylon or Teflon. I'm going to make a guide out of this because, well, you can't just get a part number on those. You have to fabricate it. So I'm going to make mine a little bit wider. I'm going 6 inches instead of the other. And just going to rip it down on the table saw. Alright, that stuff doesn't cut too bad. Now we just have to cut the length. So alright, so using that at its, I don't know, widest angle, most obtuse angle, biggest angle, then we got that cut at a decent angle. Get one more of those made and then we'll see how it fits. Now even though it's a pretty good angle on it, I'd say about 55 degrees, I'm still going to ease that bottom corner right there a little bit using the grinder. That way it's a little bit softer. A couple more passes will be good. Alright, with those eased pretty well, I'm going to go get these put in place and see how they look. Alright, I'm trying to make it make sense. I'm inside. So this is the slide up floor at the rear. So you can see what I could see on the other side. You should be able to see that nylon guide that I just put down there. And we want it to be even with wood. So I just have to bring it forward a little bit and make some marks. There's that ramp. That's where it's been rubbing. So this isn't too much load bearing. It's mostly just to help the slide go in and out easier. Now this actual floor is about 1 inch thick, so we can put some pretty long screws in there. I won't try to line up to the existing holes because that would be silly. So all I have to do is I cut these ones to length. Should butt up back here. I want to leave a little bit of a gap because I don't want it to grab water on the edge. My most important thing I need to know is how far forward I can get a screw, which is probably right about there. So let me make a mark right there. So that mark, now I can just put a whole bunch of screw holes, and then I'll countersink them and use some very similar looking screws as this. These are just stainless steel, I don't know, number 8s, maybe 8, who knows. They're wood screws. We don't want to be too long if we don't want to go through the floor of this slide. Alright, well this is the arbitrary number measurements I just came up with. This is as far forward as I can go. This is going to be under the slide out ramp. There'll always be pressure on this part right here. So I'll just drill out all of these. I like to keep it, I don't know, away from the edge to prevent deforming. Usually at least an inch away from that edge too. So I'll drill these out, then I'll put countersinks on it, and I'll just put the two together so I don't have to measure again. But just arbitrary numbers, no rhyme or reason. I'm just using the countersink bit right there to countersink because we don't want the head of the screw to snag on anything. Looks like I need to go a little bit deeper than that. I just do that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 19 more times. I'm going to be using some ProFlex. ProFlex does come in paintable cans. Doesn't have to be tubes. The only real reason why I'm using ProFlex or adhesive is to help minimize sliding around and give it a little bit more adhesion. But like I said, it won't stick tremendously well to anything. At least Teflon won't. Let me get that wiped down and then we'll put some glue on. The nice thing about this plastic is it's easy to make your own little spatula because I got a lot of plastic to use. Now, we don't want this stuff to ooze out, so we don't have to put a whole bunch of it on. Because we definitely don't want to get this stuff on the top of the carpet. That's so cool. Doesn't look like there's anything in there. Nice. Alright, that's a thin little layer of it. That's why it's nice to have that pre-drilled already. That way I didn't have to go fight it sliding around. There's the last two right there that I can get. Of course, this is just the screws I'm using. I think, like I said, number 8, about an inch long. That'd be a tapered head, though. So the front one will be the same thing all over again. No reason to show you again. We'll get that done and come back. All right, so that one's done now. So we got the back one and the front one done. I'm gonna let this cure overnight. I have it lowered down, putting pressure on it, and then we'll be back in the morning to see how it works. All right, so using that thinner Pro Seal was probably not the best decision. I probably should have just got a tube of it. A couple days later, we should be good. It's all cured now. So if you remember, these were all ripped and falling apart. Now any sealant that was oozed out is oozed out because we want to make sure that this part's going to be running on the carpet. We want to make sure we don't get anything on the carpet. I've had to replace carpet because of somebody doing that. This time I swear it wasn't me. It was somebody else. So let's go inside and start running this thing back in and see how it looks. This is a 2008 Beaver Patriot Thunder. So it's got a huge wall in it. There's a driver's slide out, and we want to go in. Well, that seemed to operate pretty smoothly, so I'm guessing the shoe did its job. Especially the back one too. We've definitely got a whole slew of issues that we're doing on this one. We can go inside. Maybe we can see the shoe a little bit better inside. Now that the slide out room is in. So, here's some of that old guide right there. We can get rid of that now. So here we can see it right down there. Just right there. So, by all accounts, we're looking really good. So, you should be able to see way back here. There's a ramp. So, those guides align with that guide. That guide's actually plastic too. So, that helps lubricate, I guess, for lack of a better word, the slide coming up that ramp. Alright, let's go ahead and go back out again. Now those slide locks, that's another story. We won't talk about those right now. Alright, let's go back outside. There we did. I guess we successfully installed those guide shoes. Look at the back one. And there's the back one. Doesn't look like we grabbed anything or broke anything. I think we're looking really, really good now, guys. Well, so there you go, guys. Replacing Monaco slide out floor guides on the bottom of these slide out, these Monaco slide outs. It's a pretty common issue on most of these late 2000 Monacos. Some of them won't have them, and quite honestly, they need them. Well, they don't need them. Some of them will require them, especially if the floor has been rotten a little bit. You'll use that as a way to support the floor a little bit. So there you go, manufacturing your old shoes. Shoe guides, guides. Guides. And there it is, the old stuff. Pretty brittle. And we'll hope for the best. Well, so there it was, replacing nylon shoe guides, slide guides on a Monaco diesel motorhome. It's pretty common on